Are you serious? They really think that's me? The words tore out of me before I could stop them. My voice cracked, too loud for the silence of my bedroom. My phone buzzed in my hand, the glowing screen burning my eyes. My heart hammered. In my chest so hard it rattled my ribs, and my throat tightened like someone was squeezing it shut. But I'm getting ahead of myself, because before my world was flipped upside down, before the whispers, the betrayal, the fake confessions posted for everyone to read, I was just me, ordinary, invisible in some ways, comfortable in others. The kind of girl who never thought her name would end up in everyone's mouth, and that's why it cut so deep when it happened. Have you ever felt like life was safe, predictable, balanced, and then suddenly it wasn't? That was my life at 18. The ordinary life I loved. I was a senior in high school, 18 years old, standing on the edge of the future, but still trapped in the daily grind of classrooms, hall passes, and cafeteria food that tasted like cardboard. My mornings always started the same. Alarm blaring at 6:30. Mom knocking on my door with her usual, up, don't make me come in there. The smell of coffee drifting from the kitchen, mixing with Dad's cologne before he left for work at the auto shop. Breakfast was rushed. Half, a slice of toast, a few sips of orange juice, and then I'd be out the door, backpack slung over one shoulder, earbuds blasting whatever playlist I made the night before. School itself? It wasn't terrible. It wasn't amazing either. I wasn't one of the golden kids who got crowned homecoming royalty or had the entire hallway part for them when they walked through. But I wasn't an outcast either. I lived somewhere in the middle. Enough friends to keep me from being lonely, but not enough attention to make me a target. Or so I thought. Emily was my best friend. Sharp-tongued, quick-witted, the type of girl who always had a comeback locked and loaded. If anyone made fun of me, Emily's voice would cut through like a blade. Say that again and see what happens. Then, there was Sam. He lived across the street from me, and we'd been friends since we were kids. He was easygoing, always joking, always tossing a football in his hands or balancing a pencil on his nose. He wasn't exactly popular either, but he had that kind of laid-back charm that made people like him. Together, the three of us were a little unit. Safe, secure. The things I never said out loud. But here's the truth. I never told anyone. Even with friends by my side, I carried a quiet insecurity. I smiled. I laughed. I played my part. But when the lights went out at night and I was alone in my room, staring at the mirror above my dresser, I saw everything I hated. The pimples that flared up on my chin whenever finals rolled around. The nose I thought looked too sharp for my face. The hair that never shone like those girls in shampoo commercials. And my voice. God, my voice. Teachers said it was too soft. Classmates talked over me in group projects. Whenever I had to give a presentation, my throat locked up. My palms sweated until the note cards went soggy in my hands. I'd stand there, voice trembling, praying for it to be over while the whole class stared. That was me. On the outside, normal. On the inside, fragile Amanda. The storm. I didn't see coming. And then there was Amanda. She was everything I wasn't. Loud, confident, magnetic. She could walk into a room with chipped nail polish and messy hair and somehow look like she belonged in a magazine. Teachers liked her. Boys liked her. Even the girls who rolled their eyes at her secretly wanted to be her. We weren't friends, not really. But we weren't enemies either. Or at least I didn't think we were. She'd make little comments sometimes. "Oh, nice sweater. Did your grandma knit that for you? You're so quiet. It's kind of creepy. You should really talk more. People probably forget you're even in class." I laughed them off, forced a smile, told myself she was just being playful, that maybe I was too sensitive. But in the pit of my stomach, I knew. She didn't like me. She didn't respect me. Still, I didn't give her the power of my attention. I had college applications to worry about, dreams to chase. Psychology. That was my goal. I wanted to study the human mind, to understand why people hurt each other, why they lie, why they break trust. I wanted to help people heal, Funny, right? That I wanted to heal others when I didn't even know the wound I was about to carry myself. The day that felt too perfect. There was one moment, burned into my memory like a photograph, that feels so different in hindsight. It was a Friday afternoon. The kind of day where sunlight pours through the classroom windows and everything feels warm and slow. Emily was next to me, ranting about her history teacher and how he graded her essay unfairly. Sam was throwing paper balls at me from 2 rows away, grinning every time one hit my desk. I remember glancing at the clock, thinking about the weekend, about how maybe I'd convince Mom to take me shopping for a new outfit. Amanda walked past me, her perfume sharp and sweet, her eyes flicking toward me for half a second. Then she looked away like I wasn't even worth noticing, and in that moment, I thought, this is it. This is all high school is. Friendships, crushes, inside jokes, dumb assignments. Soon it'll all be over, and I'll move on. I had no idea that less than a week later, I'd be hiding in a bathroom stall, clutching my phone, my reputation shredded by something I never said, never did, never even imagined. A normal weekend. That wasn't normal. At all that weekend, Emily and I went to the mall. We tried on dresses we couldn't afford, laughing so hard our stomachs ached. We split an order of greasy fries in the food court, dipping them into too much ketchup, and talked about everything and nothing. It was safe. It was normal. It was the kind of day you take for granted. But when I got home that night, lying on my bed with the ceiling fan whirring above me, I felt off. Like there was an itch under my skin I couldn't scratch. I couldn't explain why. I checked my phone. Instagram was fine. My texts were fine. Everything was fine. At least that's what I thought. Because while I was laughing with Emily, someone else was working on something cruel, something personal, something that would turn my life upside down. I just didn't know it yet. Foreshadowing the fall. If I had known what was coming, maybe I would have paid closer attention to the whispers in the hall. Maybe I would have noticed the way Amanda smirked when she saw me. Maybe I would have trusted my gut when it told me something wasn't right. But I didn't. I was just a girl trying to survive senior year. And in less than a week, my name, my face, my reputation, everything I thought was mine, would no longer belong to me. It would belong to a fake version of me. A version I didn't create. A version that almost destroyed me. What the hell is this? That's what burst out of me the moment I saw it. I was sitting on the edge of my bed, scrolling through Instagram like I always did before bed. My room was dark except for the glow of my phone. The hum of the ceiling fan filled the silence. I wasn't expecting anything. Just memes, just selfies, just normal. But then, there it was. A brand new account. My name, my picture, my life, stolen. At first, I thought it was a glitch. Maybe Instagram duplicated my profile somehow. But no, the handle was slightly different. A single underscore added at the end. But the profile picture was mine. One from last summer when Emily and I went to the beach. The same smile, the same striped tank top, and the posts. My chest tightened as I scrolled. It wasn't just pictures. It was captions. Words I never wrote, ugly, humiliating things. Confession. I cheat on every test. Confession. I'm obsessed with Mr. H. Don't tell anyone. Confession. Sometimes I drink alone just to feel something. No, no, no. My hand shook so badly I almost dropped the phone. They were writing fake confessions. Under my name. With my face. Like it was me saying these things, and people believed it. The likes were piling up. The comments. God. The comments. LMAO knew it. Girl finally admitting it. Not surprised, TBH. Damn, she's thirsty. I couldn't breathe. My vision blurred with tears. I tried to blink away. My heart pounded so violently, I could hear it in my ears. The bathroom breakdown, by Monday, the whole school knew. I walked into the hallway and felt it instantly. The shift, the stares, the whispers. She actually posted that? You, did you see the one about drinking? Wait, I thought she was quiet and innocent. Guess not. Everywhere I turned, eyes darted away. Conversations stopped mid-sentence. People pulled out their phones and smirked. By third period, I couldn't take it anymore. I bolted to the girls' bathroom, shoved open a stall, locked it, and sank onto the toilet seat, clutching my backpack to my chest like a shield. And then I broke. Ugly, shaking sobs ripped out of me. My whole body trembled. I pressed a hand against my mouth to muffle the sound, but it didn't matter. Tears streamed down my face, hot and endless. How could they do this to me? I'd done nothing wrong. I wasn't loud. I wasn't cruel. I kept to myself. And yet, someone hated me enough to build an entire fake version of me, to humiliate me in front of everyone. Emily's reaction. When I finally came out, eyes swollen and red, Emily was waiting. "Hey," she whispered, voice gentle for once. "You okay?" I wanted to scream. Of course I'm not okay. But instead, I just shook my head, biting my lip so hard it almost bled. "I saw it," she said softly. "It's not you. Everyone with a brain knows it's not you," but her eyes betrayed her. Doubt. Even she wasn't sure, and that crushed me more than anything. The principal's office by Wednesday. Teachers had seen it too. "Miss, can I speak with you for a moment?" My English teacher pulled me aside after class, her tone soft but heavy. "I'm concerned about what I've been hearing." And then came the meeting. The principal. My parents. Me, sitting in a chair that felt too small, hands clasped so tightly my knuckles went white. "We take these kinds of online activities very seriously," the principal said. "These confessions, if they are truly yours, could reflect poorly on your record, especially with college applications approaching." My mom's face was pale, lips pressed tight. My dad looked confused, angry, protective all at once. "It's not me," I blurted. "I didn't make that account. I don't even know who did," the principal sighed. "We'll investigate. But in the meantime, I suggest you stay off social media." Stay off social media? That was like telling me to stop existing. The betrayal. Revealed by Friday, the account had doubled its followers. People were sharing the posts in group chats. Screenshots flew through Snapchat stories. And then came the one that broke me. Confession. Emily isn't really my friend. I just hang out with her because she makes me look better. My blood ran cold, because that one didn't just attack me, it attacked Emily. She stormed up to me in the cafeteria, eyes blazing. "What the hell is wrong with you?" she snapped, shoving her phone in my face. I froze. It's not me. Don't lie to me. You think this is funny? You think humiliating me is some kind of joke?" My mouth went dry. My best friend. My anchor. And now, even she thought I was behind it. "I swear," I whispered, voice cracking. "It's not me." But she turned and walked away, shaking her head. And in that moment, something inside me shattered. Sleepless nights that weekend. I didn't leave my room. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, the shadows of the fan blades circling endlessly above me. My phone buzzed constantly with notifications I refused to open. Every ding was another dagger. Food lost its taste. Time blurred. I couldn't even cry anymore. I was emptied out, hollow, numb. But inside, beneath the numbness, something else was stirring. A spark, a flicker of anger. Whoever did this thought they could break me. They thought I'd stay silent, hide, let them win. But they didn't know me as well as they thought, because I wasn't going to let this destroy me. Not without a fight. The first clue it happened late Sunday night. I couldn't sleep, so I finally opened the fake account again. I scrolled through every post, every caption, every comment. My eyes burned from staring at the screen, but then something caught my attention. A comment, a single word. But it was enough, because the way it was spelled, the exact phrasing, I recognized it. I'd heard it before, in class, in the hallway. From a voice I knew all too well, and suddenly, I knew. I knew who was behind it. Amanda. It was her. It has to be her. The words tumbled out of my mouth, breathless, sharp, like I was trying to convince myself as much as anyone else. Amanda, the queen bee, the girl who always smirked when she passed me in the hall, the girl who lived for attention, for drama, for making people feel small. I stared at my phone, rereading that comment on the fake account. It wasn't much, just a word, a stupid little word. But Amanda said it all the time. Pathetic. That's what the comment said, under one of the fake confessions. So pathetic. Amanda had used that word on me before. Once when I dropped my books. Once when I stuttered through a class presentation. It wasn't proof. Not yet. But it was the first crack in the mask, the loneliness of being a liar. Without lying. By Monday morning, the hallways felt like a war zone. People didn't just look at me anymore. They laughed, they whispered. Some even asked me outright, "Did you really post that about Emily?" Wow, didn't know you were like that. Confessing crushes on teachers? Gross. Every time I wanted to scream, "It's not me." But the words stuck in my throat, because the more I said it, the less anyone believed it. Even Sam, my neighbor, my childhood friend, he'd grown distant. He still nodded at me, still said hey when we passed each other, but his smile was gone. That hurt almost more than Emily walking away. At home wasn't much better. My mom hovered constantly, her worry painted across her face like a shadow she couldn't wipe away. "Sweetheart, is there something you need to tell us?" she asked one night, her voice breaking. My dad paced the living room, fists clenched. "If someone's doing this to you, we'll go to the police, But when I told them it was Amanda, they hesitated. "You don't have proof," Dad said quietly, and that was the dagger. No one believed me. Not my best friend, not my teachers, not even my parents. I was completely, utterly alone. The plan forms. That night, lying in the dark, I made myself a promise. If no one else would prove my innocence, I would. If no one else would expose Amanda, I would. I didn't know how yet, but I knew I couldn't sit back and wait for this storm to swallow me whole. Because that's what it felt like I was standing in the middle of a tornado, everything spinning out of control. And if I didn't grab hold of something soon, I'd be gone. The slip-up. The next clue came faster than I expected. On Tuesday, another post went up. This one stung worse than the rest. Confession: I hook up with guys at parties and pretend I don't remember. My stomach turned. I had never even been to a party like that. But the photo attached, it wasn't from my account. It wasn't even of me. It was a blurry shot of a girl with long, dark hair, laughing with a red Solo cup in her hand. To most people, it looked like me. But to me, I recognized the necklace. Amanda's necklace. A thin silver chain with a tiny star pendant she wore every single day. She hadn't even noticed it in the background of her own photo. And that's when it hit me. She wasn't just pretending to be me. She was using her own pictures too, twisting them just enough to pass them off as mine. The arrogance. The carelessness. It was her downfall, and I could feel it. The first attempt at proofy screenshotted everything. The posts, the captions, the comments. Zoomed in on that necklace until the pixels blurred. The next day, I marched to the principal's office, my knees shaking but my resolve solid. "It's Amanda," I said, laying my phone on his desk. "Look, this is her necklace," she posted, this picture on her real account 2 weeks ago. And now it's on the fake one. Same photo, same necklace. He leaned forward, squinting. He looked. He frowned. But then he sighed. "It's possible, but it's not definitive. Without proof of who created the account, our hands are tied." My stomach dropped. Hands tied. That's what adults always said when they didn't want to deal with something. I left his office, shaking with rage. My eyes burned. My heart pounded. Amanda was winning. She was destroying me in front of everyone, and the people who could stop it just wouldn't. But as I walked down the hall, head down, something happened that changed everything. Voice slow, quick, almost a whisper. "You know it's her, right?" I froze, turned. It was Jason, one of Amanda's friends, a guy who sat 2 rows behind me in math. "What?" I whispered back. He glanced around, then leaned closer. Amanda, she brags about it, says it's hilarious watching you freak out, but don't tell her I told you. And then he was gone, just like that. My heart pounded harder than ever. I finally had confirmation. Not proof, not yet, but confirmation. Amanda had admitted it. She was behind it all. Now all I needed was a way to make everyone else believe me. The turning point that night. I didn't sleep. I sat at my desk, phone in hand, notebook open, scribbling ideas. How do you prove something that exists online? How do you expose someone who hides behind a fake account? Every option seemed impossible. But then I remembered something. Digital footprints. Our computer teacher had given a lecture once about IP addresses, how every device leaves a trace, how even if you delete something, it's not really gone. And I realized I didn't need to destroy Amanda myself. I just needed to push her into a corner where she destroyed herself. Because people like her, they always got cocky, and cockiness always left cracks, the final cliffhanger of escalation. The next day, I put my plan into motion. Step 1, bait. I made a post on my real account. Just a simple selfie, captioned, "Finally feeling like myself again, excited for the weekend." I waited, and less than an hour later, the fake account posted something too. Confession. Can't wait to ruin someone's weekend. And this time, the slip-up wasn't just a necklace. It was something bigger. Something Amanda could never take back. "Enough. I'm taking you down." That's what I whispered to myself as I stared at my phone, hands trembling but steady in purpose. For weeks, Amanda had played her game. She had made me into a joke, a liar, a pariah. She had stolen my face, my name, my voice. But she slipped. And now I had everything I needed. The slip that changed everything. The bait post had worked better than I could have dreamed. Amanda couldn't resist. On the fake account, just an hour after, my selfie went up, she posted a picture too. A blurry mirror shot captioned, "Confession." Some girls think they're safe now. They're not. It was supposed to scare me. To remind me she was always one step ahead, but she didn't realize something crucial. In the corner of the mirror, barely visible, her phone case. A glittery pink case with a giant letter A stickered on the back. Amanda's phone case. Her pride and joy. She showed it off every chance she got. And now? It was in her anonymous post. She had exposed herself. The plan comes together. I knew screenshots wouldn't be enough. I'd tried that already. Teachers wanted hard proof, so I thought bigger. If Amanda loved attention so much, I'd give her the stage she craved, only this time, it would destroy her. Step 1. Collect evidence. I saved every screenshot, every post, every slip-up. Necklace, words, phone case. Step 2. Witnesses. Jason's whispered confession. Emily, if I could win her back long enough to see the truth. Step 3. The reveal. It had to be public. It had to be undeniable. And I knew just the place. The senior assembly. The assembly Friday morning, the auditorium buzzed with chatter. Rows of seniors crammed into folding chairs. Teachers lined up along the walls, the principal ready to drone on about scholarships and graduation deadlines. I sat near the front, phone in my lap, heart pounding so hard I thought it might burst out of my chest. Amanda strutted in late, as always, flipping her hair, smirk plastered across her face. Her pack of friends followed, laughing too loudly. I clenched my fists. Just a little longer. When the principal finally finished his announcements, he opened the floor. If any students have something important to share, now is the time. My hand shot up before I could lose my nerve. Gasps rippled. No one expected me to speak. The quiet girl. The background shadow. But today I wasn't quiet. The exposure. I walked up to the stage, knees weak, but voice steady. The microphone squeaked as I pulled it close. I need to say something. I began, my voice echoing through the hall. Something about the fake account. The room exploded in whispers. Phones lifted, already recording. Amanda leaned back in her seat, smirk widening. Perfect. Let her enjoy it. It's not me, I continued. It never was, and I can prove it. I held up my phone, connected it to the projector. The screen lit up behind me, larger than life. Slide 1. The fake posts. The confessions. Laughter rippled. Slide 2. The blurry party photo. Zoomed in, Amanda's star necklace gleaming. Gasps now. Murmurs. Slide 3. The mirror selfie. Amanda's glittery pink A-phone case in plain view. The auditorium erupted. It's her! Someone shouted. Oh my God, Amanda! No way, look. At the phone case! Amanda's face drained of color. The confrontation, she shot to her feet. This is ridiculous. She's making this up. Those photos don't prove anything. But I wasn't done. Funny you should say that, I said, my voice cutting through the chaos. Because your own friend confirmed it. Jason froze in his seat, eyes wide. I looked right at him. Tell them. You told me she bragged about it. That it was hilarious watching me suffer. Jason swallowed hard, then nodded. She did. She thought it was funny. The auditorium gasped louder than before. Amanda stammered. You're lying. He's lying. But it was over. The evidence was undeniable. The room had turned. The whispers that once destroyed me now destroyed her. The principal steps. And the principal stormed forward, face red with fury. Amanda, my office, now. Her friends tried to shield her, but it was useless. The teachers were already guiding her out, her protests drowned by the wave of voices rising in the room. Can you believe it? She actually did that? That's sick. And for the first time in weeks, the whispers weren't about me. They were about her, aftermath in the hallway. The assembly ended in chaos. Students spilled into the hall, phones buzzing, screenshots flying. Amanda's name was everywhere. Only this time, she couldn't control the narrative. Emily found me by the lockers, eyes wide, face pale. God, I'm so sorry, she whispered, tears filling her eyes. I should have believed you. I didn't know what to think. I swallowed hard, the lump in my throat threatening to break me. You left when I needed you most. I know, she said, voice cracking. I'll never forgive myself for that. For a moment, I wanted to stay angry, to push her away like she did me, but then I saw the sincerity in her eyes, the regret carved into her face. And I realized I didn't need to hold on to the anger anymore. Amanda had already lost. The satisfying revenge by Monday, Amanda was suspended. Rumors swirled that she might even face legal trouble, harassment, impersonation, defamation. Her parents were furious. Her friends abandoned her. And me? I walked the halls with my head high. The same people who once mocked me now looked at me with respect. Some even apologized. It didn't erase the pain. The nights I cried myself to sleep. The way my reputation had been ripped apart. But it gave me closure. Because Amanda hadn't just lost her game. She'd been humiliated by it. And I was finally free. Do you know what silence feels like when it finally stops hurting? That's the thought that echoed in my mind as I walked into school the Monday after Amanda's downfall. For weeks, silence had been my prison. It was the snickers behind me in the hallway. The texts I'd never answer. The way people shifted away, whispering lies like they were truths. But now the silence was different. It wasn't suffocating. It wasn't sharp. It was calm, like the storm had passed, and I could finally breathe. The new hallway. I'll never forget that walk. Lockers slammed, sneakers squeaked, teachers barked, orders. But everywhere I turned, eyes followed me. Not with judgment, not with cruelty, but with something else. Respect. Fear even, because I had stood up to Amanda. I had taken back my voice, and people noticed. Hey, a girl I barely knew, said as I passed, I'm really sorry for what happened. You didn't deserve that. Another chimed in. That was brave. What you did in assembly. I nodded, not sure what to say. These were the same voices that had laughed when Amanda dragged me through the mud. And yet, part of me understood. It's easy to follow the loudest voice. It takes courage to question it. Amanda's fall be midweek. Amanda was gone. Suspended indefinitely. Her parents pulled her from cheerleading. Her college applications now had a big, ugly stain attached. The girl who once ruled the hallways with a toss of her hair and a cruel smile now walked with her head down, whispers chasing her every step. And I didn't gloat. I didn't smile when I saw her crying by her locker, mascara running. Because I realized something. She wanted me broken. She wanted me bitter. She wanted me destroyed. If I celebrated her pain, she'd still own me. So I let her go. Her revenge was her own downfall. Emily's apology, one of the hardest parts wasn't Amanda, it was Emily. She came over that weekend, hands stuffed in her hoodie pocket, guilt written across her face. I should have been there, she said softly. You're my best friend, and I let them turn me against you. I looked at her, torn between love and anger. You believed them, not me. Her eyes filled with tears. I know, and I'll regret that forever. But if you'll let me, I want to earn your trust back. Silence hung between us, the kind that feels heavy, like a decision teetering on a ledge. Finally, I sighed. I'm not ready to forgive you. Not yet, but maybe one day. She nodded. That's enough. Thank you. And for the first time, I saw sincerity in her. A spark of the Emily I once knew. Maybe we'd rebuild. Maybe not. But at least now, the choice was mine. Jason's guilt. Jason tried too. He cornered me in the cafeteria, face pale. I'm sorry. I should have spoken up sooner. I was just scared. Looked him straight in the eye. You let me drown while you watched. He swallowed hard, nodding. I know, and I'll never forgive myself for that. This time, I didn't offer a maybe. I didn't offer a someday. I just walked away, because not everyone deserves a second chance. The lesson I learned, and the weeks that followed, life slowly returned to normal. Classes, homework, group projects, college applications, prom planning, but I wasn't the same girl anymore. I had scars now, emotional ones. Nights of crying in the bathroom, hours spent wondering if I'd ever escape the lies. But scars don't mean weakness, they mean survival. And I survived. Amanda thought she could erase me. She thought she could control the story. But the truth always finds a way out. Looking back, sometimes I think about that bathroom floor. The night I shook so hard I couldn't breathe. The moment I thought I might not survive the humiliation. And then I think about the assembly stage, the projector lighting up, Amanda's mask cracking in front of everyone, and I realize the distance between those two moments was only courage. The courage to say, no, this is not who I am. The life lesson. There's one thing I've learned. It's this. The people who tear you down aren't as powerful as they seem. Their strength only lasts as long as your silence. The moment you speak, really speak, they crumble. Because lies can only live in the dark. And the second you drag them into the light, they die. Final reflection. Now, as I prepare to graduate, I carry that lesson with me. I know there will be more battles, more people who try to define me, control me, break me. But I also know this. I have a voice, and I will never let anyone steal it again. So, let me ask you this. If someone stole your name, your voice, your identity, would you forgive when the truth came out? Or would you burn their world down the way they tried to burn yours?